we've got a really special guest for you. Let's go ahead and welcome Claudia Foster. How are you, Claudia?
I'm good, thank you. How
I
are
love
you?
your background. When
Good,
did when
thanks.
did you create that?
Well, this is my teaching background because I've been teaching online for a long time.
Ah, that's
So,
awesome.
yeah, it changes sometimes, but there's a Chinese sign here because a lot of my students are from China or
Nice.
Taiwan or, so.
Awesome. Well, let's talk about that. So before you came into my world, talk to me about what your life was like before. What were some of the challenges that you were experiencing, the frustrations, some
Yes.
of the difficulties?
Okay, so for a long time, I was a teacher in upstate New York and I taught public school and I just loved the kids, but I did not love everything else about it.
Yeah.
All the meetings and the expectations and the testing and the parent conferences and the just, data. It became all about data and
Yeah.
it just became too much. The expectations just kept getting higher and higher. And I had a decent salary, but I was like, this is not even worth it. I was depressed. I just
Mm.
felt stuck. And also, I did not like the cold winters in New York. So I finally talked my family into moving to Florida.
Wow.
And I'm so happy just to have sunshine. I almost, I took basically all of my pay cut pretty much,
Yeah.
my whole salary. And then I was like, I'm not going back in the public classroom, let alone in Florida, just
Yeah.
because the pay is way less than New York. And there's
Right.
other reasons too. And, um, I was like, well, I'll just try this online tutoring stuff. And I've been doing it now for 7 years. And I enjoy it. I love working with the kids. Half of my kids are from Asia and the other half are from, Canada or the USA. So I have both really early morning hours, like starting at 5:45 or 6 or 6:30. And then I have a few late nights because it's 12 or 13 hours later, depending on
Wow.
where they are. And I have daytime hours too. So all my classes are scattered. It's just, I'm all over the place and I'm always working for other people, doing all the work. I'm still planning
Yeah.
all the lessons and
Mhm.
making the curriculum for myself and deciding what's appropriate for each child and giving them this wonderful, in my opinion, individualized education, and attention. And the people that own the companies are the ones getting all the money, like a lot of the money. So I was like, you know what? I can do this. And I've been watching you for a while. And I don't know. I guess I was just hesitant. I thought, well, I have classes. I'm fine. I do appreciate my time off between them and it's Florida, what are you complaining about? But we don't have any savings, we're just living paycheck to paycheck and we're happy, but there's like, we have to think about, can we take a trip this summer?
Mhm. Yeah.
Um, we can't really take a long trip. We're going literally like 2.5 hours away. It's Florida. It's vacation land,
Right.
But we
Yeah.
couldn't like take an airplane with the five of us
Yeah.
or like that's how limited, we have no savings
Mm.
basically. So I was like, it would be nice to A, be working for myself, B, have a program like yours to follow with pretty much all the steps ready, and C, finally have hopefully some kind of savings at some point, and see the money.
Yeah.
So that's my hope. Those are my hopes.
I love that. And
Thank you.
so you mentioned that, you're getting by, things are kind of okay, but can I say this correctly that you're not getting ahead in life, right?
We're
Like you're not
definitely not getting ahead.
okay. Yeah. And
Yeah,
so
I
what
mean,
kind of thing go
yeah.
ahead.
Go ahead. No, I was just gonna say, like, we've been renting this house on
Mm,
over west of Tampa, since we moved here almost 8 years ago. And, the rent goes up a little bit each year. Costs of groceries and gas and
yeah,
everything else in life keeps going up, up, up. But I don't feel like our pay is really matching the increased cost of life. And we have
totally.
3 kids that are 15, 18, and 20.
Mm,
And the 18 and 20-year-old are working and they're taking care of themselves, although they live here at home with us.
yeah.
So that's helpful that I'm not, really shopping for them so much.
Yeah.
But the 15-year-old, he like loves to eat, and he has to wear clothes. And I want him to be happy and have everything he needs.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we are, like you said, we're getting by, but we're not getting
Mhm.
ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did an exercise during the challenge where I said, "You know what? There are many of you who will say, 'Hey, things are okay right now. Like they're
Right.
not super horrible. Sure, like I would love to change my hours so I'm not teaching all crazy hours during the night, but like, we're kind of dealing with it.'" But
Yeah.
that exercise asked you to maybe think about the future. And maybe if you continue down this path, 5, 10, 15 years, what would be some of the sacrifices that you would be missing out on? Or like, would be some of the things that you just would not be able to achieve? Would you mind speaking to that if you're,
Of
feeling okay
course.
about that?
So basically, I remember you did ask us to talk about that stuff, and I remember starting out the paragraph with, I've always been a be here now kind of person, like
Mhm.
just try to enjoy what you have and be happy with that,
Yeah.
and appreciate the now and the here, and
Mhm.
live in the moment, because you never would know what's going to happen. So
Yeah.
I never really do that 5-year plan thing, but that's probably a part of my problem with never, um, like I just never really attained, like had this goal that I've really
Mhm.
wanted to attain. Like in the
Mhm.
New York public school system, I was doing fine financially, and the salary kept going up, but I felt so unhappy in the most of the job.
Mhm.
And so anyway, when you made us think about it and I started to visualize, like, like, wow, maybe I could actually have my own business, and maybe I would be able to enroll a bunch of kids. And if I could, and I'm like, in my mind, I'm doing the math, how many classes, how many kids per class, how many, I'm
Yeah.
like, this could work if I follow the steps, and I'm devoted and hopeful, and I definitely am.
Yeah.
um, it's just nice to imagine, nice to think. And I don't feel like we'd be sacrificing anything as far
Right.
as like time wise or
Yeah.
anything like that. I'm
That's awesome.
not going to be sad to say goodbye to the places that I'm working in now, although I do appreciate them.
Yeah, definitely. But it is difficult. I mean, you mentioned, your one-on-one tutoring. You are putting so much effort to giving that student the
Yes.
best experience because that's obviously where heart is you want to
Hmm.
make sure you take care of that kiddo.
Yeah.
But you truly are building someone else's business, and
I
now you can pour all that passion and
I
time and
know.
energy to build your business,
I
right?
know. When I start to think about that, I start to get more excited. I'm like, okay, so all these nights and days and mornings that I'm planning my lessons with these kids is awesome.
Yeah,
And I always enjoy the classes with them. And then that's it. The class is over, the lesson is done.
right.
Maybe I'll repeat it with another student if it happens to be
Mhm.
appropriate or whatever. But I was like, wow, like just imagining doing all this for myself, and like knowing that I'm making the difference. And I don't know. I mean, I know
Yeah.
I'm making a difference, but like, I don't know. It's just different when it's your own, I think.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
hear that. So you said you've been following me for quite some time. What made you jump into the challenge?
I wanted to in past challenges, and somehow I always just kind of missed them. So,
Sure.
so
Maybe
this
life
time I
was
was like, I'm
crazy
going to do
busy.
it. I'm just going to do it. This is time,
Yeah.
And I remember you several times saying like, don't wait. What are you waiting for? There's
Yeah.
no reason to wait. And the time is never going to be right.
Yeah.
So I did it, and I'm so glad I did. And first, so I'm excited. Yeah. I haven't delved
So
into it yet.
yeah,
But I'm super excited. I'm going to try this weekend. So
nice.
yeah.
So you jumped into the challenge and you posted your script, and
Mhm.
then let's talk about the results. And also
Oh.
before you posted, like, because
Mm.
is this the first time you've ever done besides
Yeah.
like, but technically you were like employed by these companies, right?
Yeah.
So is this the first business you've ever done on your own?
Yes. Yeah,
Wow.
it
Okay.
is. So another thing about when I lived in New York with my family was my husband, who's a wonderful husband,
Yeah.
um, always, because I was the one with the steady job with the benefits and blah, blah,
Mhm.
blah, he was the one
Mhm.
who got to try all these different businesses.
Yeah.
And cool, like he had a coffee shop for a while. I mean, then he opened restaurants with his brother and all these different things. And I'm
Wow.
like, this is so not fair. Yeah. And even
My turn.
if it didn't like They were never, financially lucrative or anything like that, but
Yeah.
we never went into huge debt or anything either. But
Right.
um, just like, I wanted the chance to do my thing and try my thing and have
Hmm.
something that's mine. So
Yeah.
yeah. So
So you jumped into the challenge, and before you posted the Facebook, post, because I mean,
yeah,
you've never made $1 on your own before, you've never done a business before, and
right.
so like, were you hesitant that this was going to actually work? Were you kind of like,
Yeah.
I don't know about this?
Yeah. First of all, that and yeah, I felt like, do I create a GoFundMe for me? But of
Yeah,
course,
right.
through the script, it's very descriptive. And I was like, at first I was like, ooh, do I feel like a little cringy about this, asking people for money? But then I thought, you know what? No, I don't.
Yeah.
It's a good cause.
Yep.
It's a great cause. And it's something that I'm definitely going to use the money for. I'm not like,
Yeah.
it's not a scam or anything, like
Totally,
I want
totally.
to create this business that's going to serve little kids and hopefully make them awesome readers and have fun doing it. And,
Yeah.
I feel like it was worth it and is worth it. So I was very pleasantly surprised to see that I made $1,380 in like 2 days or one day. Yeah.
$1,300
And
in
there's
1 or
still a
2
check
days.
coming in from my mother-in-law.
Oh, and you
So I
still have
might
money.
reach the $1,500 threshold.
Awesome.
But yeah, I saw like anonymous donation of 100 and like
Wow.
just people came out of the woodwork, like old high school friends from 30 years ago who
Yeah.
just thought it was a good cause, and I was like, so sweet. It's very touching. It makes you
Yeah.
realize you were right. There are people out there who want to help,
Mm.
so don't be afraid to put yourself out there, even if
Yeah.
it's not something you normally would do. So,
Right. And what I
yeah,
love too is not only, of course, did you get the income, if you've got at least 1380 right now, you've got 25 more days to run the script and you're going to make more. But that money specifically can will sponsor
yeah,
this first students in your program. So are
yeah.
you going to create an online preschool or an online tutoring?
Yeah, that's my plan. Hopefully, well, I'm still up in the air about whether to do a preschool or like more like a tutoring type
Yeah.
thing. I love both. I
Yeah.
love preschoolers too.
And you can do both, honestly.
Right. Yeah. So, yeah, actually, some of my students right now are in pre-K.
Right? Yeah, no, I love
So,
that.
yeah,
And so that alone, I mean, you could immediately sponsor 13 students right there with that script and fill your preschool with 13 kids or your tutoring. And then you'll get testimonials from those 13 families for that
yeah,
first month. And then you can enroll them for the second and future months.
yeah.
And then you just barely jumped into Preschool All Stars. And so
Yep.
tell us, now that you're on the other side, like what do you love about it?
Okay, so I'm just like you said, I'm just entered like
Yeah.
on the other side. So clearly I haven't had time to, no, I haven't had time actually to look
Right.
at the materials, although I know from all the shows you've given and the previews, it's going to be great. And also from all the reviews and all the other women who give testimonials. But mainly I would say is just the support and the community. Like I haven't been a part of something like this that's so supportive and so positive, which is wonderful. You really need that to
Yeah.
feel lifted up and
Mhm.
capable and confident.
Yeah,
So it's really
totally.
nice. And I think it's so awesome how you really encourage that and inspire it. So
Sweet. So if anybody was on the fence, to joining Preschool All Stars, what would you say to them?
I'd say get off the fence and just do it. Join me. There's a whole bunch of new people and we're all just starting and we can all support each other and it'll actually be really fun and maybe we'll actually accomplish something really cool.
Oh, absolutely. And it's interesting, Claudia, it's really interesting. I'd love to bring you back on in like a year from now,
I
because
know.
even in some of your language, I'm hearing words like try or it will be fun. And I just can't wait because like
Yeah,
you are right now in this beginning stage of changing your entire mindset
I
into
know. I'm
this new
excited.
world because you went from like employee and now you're headed to entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And like I'm so excited about what's ahead for you because like
Thank
I
you.
know that path you're going to walk and it's
Thank
super
you.
fun.
I'm really
Yeah.
excited too. And I
Cool.
won't use the
Well,
word try anymore.
oh, I still say it all the time. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, come on,
I know.
it's just it is.
Yeah. But
Awesome,
thank you
girl.
for having me. And yeah,
Yes.
I think it's going to be a great thing. I'm excited. And thank you for
Awesome.
making it.
You're so welcome.
All
All right,
right.
Claudia, appreciate you.
Bye.
Yeah.